On this episode of Exploring Weird New York, the team investigates a tattoo studio that has claims of paranormal activity.
This is where I was on the ladder. I was working up at the very top of this section, and I don't know, I was maybe 3 feet in the air, 4 feet in the air, when all of a sudden a fully formed girl, like probably 19 years old, blonde hair, older style dress, just kind of appeared next to me, like just looking at me. You know, it was clear as day, just anyone standing in front of you, there it is. And I looked away for a second because I was confused, and I looked back and there was nothing. Totally gone. And that was about the end of my night that night. I decided to call it a day and go home.
Will they uncover evidence of a haunting? Or will they leave this little tattoo shop of horrors empty-handed? Find out next.
Started with a lot of footsteps, noises in the night. When I was first renovating the space, I would stay here quite a bit, and I'd be here really late at night. And I'd hear footsteps, like I said, stuff would be moved. I'd find things in places I hadn't left them in the morning. It was a lot of just kind of random noise that wasn't from the neighborhood. And it wasn't until about 2 months into the build that I actually started to see things. First I thought maybe I was going crazy because it would just be something dark out of the corner of my eye would move, or, you know, maybe I was working too hard, I don't know. But, you know, when things start putting themselves in your face, you tend to take notice. You know, I would see faces coming through the glass doors in the space. I was standing on the ladder one night and all of a sudden a girl was standing next to me, like floating. And, you know, that kind of freaked me out. I almost fell off the ladder. Quite a few of the people that I've met that say that they're sensitive, that have been through the space, have claimed to see her also kind of being held back by this door for whatever reason. There is one more spot though, in the back in the workshop, that everyone tells us is creepy. Back here in this back corner, everyone tells me that it gives them the heebie-jeebies. People don't like it, it makes them uncomfortable. For me personally, it never bothered me until somebody else said something about it, and now it's just whatever, it's there. So I don't know if there's anything to it, but that's what they tell me.
All right, today we have a case in Rochester, New York. It's at a tattoo studio up in the 3rd floor of an old building by the railroad tracks. People have said that when they go in there to get tattoos, they get kind of a weird feeling about the building, like something's not quite right. He's said that some people that have came in there while they're getting tattoos that claim to be sensitive or psychic have said that they believe that there's actual spirits that are in the building.
Interesting. Great. So what we can do is load the equipment into the car, get going, and the rest of the crew is going to be out there. They're going to meet us about an hour.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. Get going. First camera we got is over here in the waiting area. It's facing towards the door. Second camera is in the showroom, pointing toward all of his paintings and the odd stuff he's got. Third camera is inside of the space where people seem to have the weird feeling, and that's facing out towards that stuff. Fourth camera is in the back near that half pipe, and so at some point throughout the night I'm going to have you guys go to each one of these spots. We can do EVP sessions near there. When you're walking back here on the side of the half pipe, be really careful of all the debris and stuff back there. Make sure you have a flashlight. Each one of the radios has a flashlight built in as well, so you can use that as a flashlight. Don't forget.
When Luke and I went back there, we moved some stuff over here so that it was a little bit easier.
Okay.
So while we were setting the camera up.
Okay. So be careful and make sure you're tagging your audio when you start. So we can go ahead and go lights out. Alright, Luke and Tally, you can come with me. We'll go back towards where the half pipe is first, and we'll do an EVP session out there.
Pretty good. Right.
Let's go sit over here on the half pipe for a little bit.
Is us making noise on the ground from the debris?
Flash.
Okay. And when we were walking in, I heard something over there, and then Luke and I heard it to the right over there.
Ollie, ollie, oxen free. Come out and play. Can you make a noise for us? We have several communication devices here. Any of the red lights you can go to. You can state your name, phrase, something you want us to communicate to somebody. Make yourself known. Can you knock? Push a board over? A lot of debris that you can move. Can you do something for us?
Can you make a noise for us? Let us know that you're here. If you're here right now, can you make a noise for us? All right, I'm going to take a photograph. And if you could, can you make yourself appear in the photo? Problems with the camera.
So what was this say? Once I knew, without the K, so once I knew this girl named I don't know. She had style and something. Was history.
Oh, the rest was history?
So I don't know what her name is, so I can't see that. Looks like a K.
Kathy? Can something?
Could be K-A.
I don't know. Start rattling off people you dated.
All right. we see old mattresses and pictures. Did someone live back here? Did you expire back here?
I'm putting the audio on the table.
There's many pictures from many different generations.
I didn't even see these. Huh. Those are actually pretty awesome. They're all moldy, but I wonder how old these are. These look like they're pretty old.
You want us back here? Can you bring yourself to knock? Touch one of us? Can you move something? Can you move one of these pictures?
If there's anybody back here, if this was your space and you don't want anybody back here, can you let us know? Say something?
Should we check this lottery ticket to see if it was a winner? We could all be rich and not know it.
Well, I'm not one to pass up that opportunity. October 12th of 2012. We have the winning lottery numbers now. Will you show yourself to us? Hey, did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It sounded like it was out there.
It happened again.
If that's you, can you come closer to make that noise?
Like right after it happened, it sounded like there was something out there.
Right.
I'm gonna check with them at base camp, see if they're moving around out there. Hey, were any of you guys out there at base camp moving around or making like thumping noises like a minute or two ago?
Nobody's moved a muscle in here.
Do we have a time for this? Somebody tell me what the time is. We're gonna mark it on the audio.
12:33.
Awesome.
Okay, so we'll mark it. Thanks. So we'll mark it for like 12:30, because that was roughly when it happened.
No, that was there before.
What's that?
Might have,
I
yeah.
remember trying to be careful where I was walking. I don't think that was I really visited before. It was all the way out here.
I specifically was pushing things over so that I wouldn't trip because I'm, so coordinated. So I was pushing things around to make sure that I'd have an open walkway. And when we came into the back room, we both heard that one noise.
It sounded to me like it was just like a real low metallic, like a dragon.
Yeah.
I originally thought maybe it was like a pipe or something that was laying up against the wall that was sliding
Right?
or something.
And then when we
But-
were coming back through,
Mhm.
I think when I looked down when I was walking, because I do that, it looked like it was about that far away from the wood that was on the other side of it. And I know that I wouldn't have left that there because I know I would have tripped if I would have seen it. And when you moved it, it sounded almost exactly like it's me.
Mhm.
Did it sound? Are we on the same page?
Sounded like it to me. And Nate, when we radioed back at that time, when we said that we heard the noise, it was like literally a minute after. And did you guys hear anything when you were?
We did not hear anything when you guys radioed that in. None
Yeah.
of us moved and none of us heard anything.
I really don't remember that being that far out.
Yeah. It is similar to what I heard.
Me too.
That's odd.
Because it was almost touching that wood right there. Alright, so anybody back there, can you bang on something, move something? guys, but you can't do it for us.
Nope.
Can you make that noise again? Sounded like it came from behind Chris. Yeah. Make that noise again. We're not here to harm you in any way, we promise.
Let us know you're back here.
So, this is the tattoo part. I didn't hear any stories about this, but like, there's no history, is there? Like, when you guys did the walkthrough, you didn't say anything about this part, did he?
Well, he said that he was over here doing something on the wall, either painting or hanging something. He said that he saw the apparition of a girl standing next to him.
But sometimes the things that things don't happen at all is where, when we do this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
that's where they are, even if it doesn't. But if he saw something, maybe we should say something, I don't know.
Can you make your presence known? Can you show yourself?
How do you feel about this becoming a tattoo shop? Because if given its history, given how old this place is, I bet you people who would have lived here might not approve of it.
True story. So we had an interesting night, had a few things happen, and we're gonna go look over the evidence, see what we find. Hopefully we got something on camera that actually happened tonight, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey Tim, can you come over here and take a look at this?
Yeah.
Listen at 38. You hear that?
So how have things been since we last saw you?
Not bad. I moved. I got a new location. You know, business is better, so life is good.
Good. Nice. Well, you're probably interested to see what it is that we experienced while we were doing the investigation out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait.
So before we even got into investigating, we actually had a few things happen. You had said that you had seen things and heard things back off in those back rooms that weren't really used.
Yep.
So we were going through and filming, and we actually had something happen.
Well, we were just walking back over here from the ramp, coming right through here, and you had gone through first,
and the crowbar, it was up here. You walked this way, it just fell. I wasn't even near it. And that wasn't near it. That wasn't near it.
No,
and you didn't touch it.
Nothing came up next to it.
And this is like concrete. It's not like it's wood.
So one of the things that seemed to happen while we were recording, even throughout the night, was we were hearing things moving around back there. So this was before we were filming. We were actually doing B-roll.
Right.
And we were just filming stuff back there, and that crowbar had moved. So we wanted to see how it was sitting because we didn't really document it up until that point.
Sure.
So we went back through and grabbed video from earlier before we had started going through the rest of the place.
Yeah.
And there's actually the position of the crowbar on some of our video from when we were walking around before. And if you look closely on there, you can see that the crowbar wasn't just leaning up against that crate. It was actually leaning up against the handle and the lock, which would keep it from falling over. So that was pretty interesting. We had gone through that back area, and this is all pretty much in that same area. We had gone through and before the night was, we cleared out spots that we could potentially trip on. One place in particular was right near that crowbar. The things seemed to keep on moving. There was a picture frame that was up underneath one of these crates. It was just sitting on there. And we had gone through there numerous times during the night. And at one point during the night, we had gone through, and it was about this far away from another piece of wood that was leaning up against more boards there, which us traversing that all night, somebody would have tripped on it, especially in the dark. So we had gone through, and I had tried to piece together an idea of what could have happened. So this is a couple of our investigators kind of retracing and trying to figure out exactly what would have happened.
And just walk to me. Just be cautious. Bingo. So, we tested the theory that when someone's walking through here in the dark, they would obviously bump into this. It would, it would create a tripping hazard. Well, when Tim came back here just to look after we put this back in, this piece of board was sitting out more. In theory, would have been sticking out when we had walked through here. Clearly, I would have seen this when I was coming through, and either A, had moved it, or B, had notified everybody about it. But for me not to warn somebody and not to trip over it's kind of weird.
One other odd thing was there was a point throughout the night where we heard what sounded like a metallic dragging noise, and we went back and moved that picture frame, and it was very similar. So we can't say it's paranormal, but we don't know at what point that moved, and along with the other evidence that we caught throughout the night, it did seem like while nobody was back there, things were moving. So. Will you show yourself to us? Did you hear that?
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
It sounded like it was outside.
Happen again. We'd actually gone through and went over all of the audio, and a lot of it back there was just literally the empty room. And there wasn't nothing happening. Occasionally you would hear us way up in the front. But for the most part, the sound really didn't carry that well back there. But we did end up going through and collecting a lot of the noises that we heard throughout the night. This honestly sounds like either footsteps, things moving, things banging in that back part. So what I'll do is I'll grab the headphones and you can take a listen. That was over near the half pipe, and it's just literally just nothing, and then boom. And that happened quite a few times throughout the night.
If I remember correctly, too, there wasn't a whole lot of actual vocalization that I heard spending, as much time as I did in that space. Like, I never really heard any real vocalization, but it was more like stuff like you call it, with the thumps, the knocks, stuff moving around, footsteps, and then finding random stuff moved around in the space. Right.
But that seemed to coincide with what you were experiencing. So can't really label anything as amazingly paranormal, but
Right.
definitely seems like
Something's going on in there.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Well, thanks guys for coming out. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
You know, making me feel like I'm not a crazy person.
Well, you're definitely not crazy. Yeah, if you have anything, just give us a call.
Sure, absolutely, man.
All right, sounds
well,
good.
thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
Take care, guys. Thank you.